God bless Grady Birdsong. Okay, our last issues, I'm calling them the Big Five. And that is the forced vaccination of our children, the oil and gas law, the hypersexualization of our kids, our red flag law, and the national popular vote. Sheriff Steve Reams, Weld County Sheriff, who said that he was going to uphold the Constitution, was planning on being here. We just got a text message that he has a SWAT incident and he's going to have to take care of that, so I guess he will. So we'll move on here. Heather Lahdenpera, I guess you texted me. You said, we've got something that we're concerned about. Now, you know, I've vaccinated my kids. I think vaccinating kids against, childhood diseases is a good idea. And I realized this forced vaccination bill, this isn't about anti-vaxxing or pro-vaxxing. This is about freedom versus force. And so Heather Lahdenpera actually was a concerned mom that, I'm surprised you don't have bags under your eyes after all the time you spent down here at the Capitol. But she's going to talk about this bill, forced vaccinations of our kids. It did not pass this year, but you can be guaranteed it will be back.
Thanks, Kim. I am here to represent the thousands of parents who came together to oppose and defeat HB 1312 this year, also known as the Mandatory Vaccination Bill. This bill was promoted by its sponsors, pharma lobbyists, and proponents as a moderate bill. This bill was anything but moderate. This bill was an extreme example of governmental overreach and control. Do not be fooled. HB 1312 would have stripped doctors of their rights to give medical exemptions to children based on their professional judgment, and would have put the medical exemption decisions for children into the hands of a faceless governmental agency. Hundreds of children across this state stood to lose valid medical exemptions with this bill, putting their health and lives at risk. This bill sought to add 5 new vaccines, which translates into 29 more shots to the required school vaccination schedule, with no end in sight. This would have included the controversial HPV vaccine given to children at 9 years of age for a sexually transmitted disease. This bill would have required a parent to go in person to the health department to obtain an exemption for any reason for one vaccine, medical contraindication, personal objection to the adverse risks or lack of efficacy, or a religious belief against the controversial vaccine ingredients. The parent would be forced to put their children's private information, personally identifying information, and medical information into a state tracking registry. Every person here should be concerned about the idea of placing children into a state tracking database. If we let this happen to children, who will be next? You! The corporate media is fueling a narrative that is one-sided and is based on fear. They're pitting neighbor against neighbor and mother against mother. Both conservative and liberal media are guilty. We need to broaden our scope of reference to include more independent journalists like Kim Monson, who are brave enough to do real reporting. We need to reconnect with real people and listen to each other. If we each took the time to talk to one another and understand each other, we can stop this agenda of oppression. I urge you today, find someone you don't know here and talk to them. Tell them why you're here. Ask them why they're here. Listen to them. Share a real story. Create understanding. Our freedom depends on it. Thank you.